We live in a time where stress and mental health struggles are reaching an all-time high. Today I have with me Vic Lebouthillier, the founder of My Outcomes, which is an organization that is pioneering innovative programs to prevent mental health struggles by building resilience, or for those who experience a struggle, overcome it through the use of advanced neural, social, and behavioral science. Welcome to the show, Vic.
Welcome. Thank you, Randy.
Who is My Outcomes? What is it?
Well, My Outcomes is a group of clinicians who are researching what we call advanced behavior, neural, and social sciences. And we take these findings and we put them into products and services for those to prevent mental health issues through building resilience or overcoming a mental health struggle.
And how did you end up in this business, Vic?
Well, I spent 12 years as a management consultant working in businesses, and we noticed that the workplace stress was just escalating year after year. And it became a big issue with Canadian Mental Health Commission, business owners, HR managers. So we began to observe that, and back in 1990, provide services to build resilience, to help people learn how to deal with stress. And so that's how we got our beginning. I then moved into publishing. I had a real abrupt change in my career and got into publishing, and we started to publish information on the brain's neuroplasticity and how the brain can change. Prior to that time, we saw the brain as hardwired. And so we started to publish information, and it was well received, and there was a real need for it. And people were receiving that need. And then after working in publishing, I decided I wanted to go back and be more connected with people. It was a bit of a disconnect from being with people. Working in office all the time. So we opened up a 24-bed inpatient facility, and we're still running it today, where people come in to deal with mental health struggles.
Anxiety, depression, PTSD?
Yeah, those are the primary ones. Those are the big ones.
So why the increase in stress and mental health today? What's going on?
Well, that's a big question, and we're, as a health science community, we're still trying to determine that. But three big ones that we know of. One of the big ones that's really surfacing in the last decade, maybe it's been out since 1995, is the ACE study. The ACE is an acronym for Adverse Childhood Experiences. And adverse childhood experience is basically someone who's had multiple ACEs as a child, and when they come into their adult years, they're just not ready to deal with life challenges. And so they get stressed over issues. Chronic stress, undealt with, turns into a mental health issue. So we're now starting to see the validity of that study. More than ever, it's gaining widespread global acceptance. And an ACE is simply verbal abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, or neglect. And so those are a significant factor to people susceptible. The next one that's really emerging quickly is loneliness. Now up to 49% of North Americans are suffering from loneliness. In fact, the UK has
they've made a minister of loneliness.
Minister of loneliness, yes.
Like they've created a whole department in their government.
Studies are coming out, some saying as high as 90% of men have no one to confide in. So pain held in increases, pain expressed is reduced. So we need connection. We're built for connection. And we become lonely, become highly susceptible. And then of course the one that's really becoming a concern is screen time. We're replacing connections with screen time. And although screen times can be valuable in educational reasons, sometimes it doesn't replace the things that you receive in a relationship. So those are three significant factors. I mean, many others, but those are the big ones that we pay attention to.
So tell us about the products that you've developed. You've developed 3 different products with your company, My Outcomes.
Our first product is My Outcomes, which we talked about. It's an inpatient facility where people come for a month and then they go home and have a 2-month aftercare program. So they have an app on their phone and they're connected to the counselors and the people that were in their same groups. So they're really staying engaged when they go home, because perhaps the number one issue is staying engaged with people, being connected.
But is that like a group therapy thing, or what are they doing in the retreat center?
At the Live Center, we focus on engagement. We focus on cardio. Of course, people are starting to hear the new Harvard study that came out, I think about a decade ago, showing that those who do regular cardiovascular activity stand the chance of overcoming a mental health issue by up to 35%. Now that's significant. So sedentarism is becoming a big issue in Western society. The next one is nature. we're seeing now new studies showing the impact that nature has on people. So we have cabins up in the mountains and take people, we do solo programs and get people just connected to nature. And then, of course, group and individual therapy, as I said.
And nutrition. You're also addressing nutrition, which is...
Gut health has a big link to brain health, so we're dealing with that as well, too.
So that's the one part of your company. What are the other two parts of your company?
Our second product is MyOutcomes. MyOutcomes is a clinical program. We're partnering with Dr. Scott Miller and his work and really trying to commercialize measuring the effectiveness of therapists, counselors, coaches, anyone, social workers, anyone who works with someone one-on-one. And it's a system that measures the effectiveness, measures the clinical outcomes, and reports that to the therapist, the client, and the clinical director. And then from that, we can determine what type of training that therapist needs. So we have e-learning programs for the therapists. And this is based on all the most advanced training that's in the marketplace. So we been running that now for about 5 or 6 years, and that product is sold in 20 different countries and translated into 6 languages and used by universities to train students in large and small mental health clinics. Our third product is the Resilient Mind, and that's a product that we're currently beta testing. And basically, the Resilient Mind is a product that is designed to help people build grit and resilience. So the objective of that is to make advanced behavioral, neuro, and social sciences affordable and accessible to all. So it's a web-based program that a trainer gets trained in. It's a trainer-trainer model that they can host it and run it in businesses and keep the cost down. So we can provide 18 hours of continuing education for an employee that they can do at lunch hour. And then during the week, they meet for 7 weeks for 75 minutes. During the week, they're pushed out 2 homework assignments, and they do those assignments. They have 3 times a week. They're really becoming conscious of their stress level and learning tools to bring their stuff down. We use sort of a scale saying you're regulated or you're escalated. So we all know what getting escalated is. So what if we were to create consciousness when we are escalated and have a tool belt on where we have tools to learn to bring ourselves back down? So that's the essence of what that program is.
Well, we're so grateful that you're in the business you're in and that you're driving solutions in the private sector. Vic, thank you for coming on Biz 101. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Randy.